That's French for handsome devil. Hello, Leo, Lily. Congratulations to both of you on this incredibly important film. So many have been blind to the stories of the Osage murders, admittedly, including myself. So Lily, I wanted to ask you, how does it feel to use your artistry and your craft to finally give these events and these stories a platform like this?
Thank you. I feel very lucky that I'm able to do so on such a level. One of the biggest reasons I am an actor is because there are stories like this that need people from our communities championing, telling them, sharing them. I mean, for a long time, my acting craft was put into educational purposes to tell these underrepresented histories, particularly at the time that I was doing it about Native American boarding schools. This was long before we had Secretary Holland in the position she's in, asking for this nationwide investigation into the real history behind boarding schools. So I've always felt like my art as an actor is, in a way, activism, and it's just incredible to be at this point, 23 years into my career. People will think of me as a newcomer because of this film, but it's been a lot of years of doing this, and I'm just so grateful that these artists, and I kind of consider Martin Scorsese the most successful independent filmmaker. He's like the one indie filmmaker that's working with budgets like this. He hasn't let go of that relentless search for these stories. So I'm so grateful that it challenges people to work the way that Marty did, so closely with community to get these things right.
I love that, we're getting that affirmation, that confirmation that he did work that closely and this is authentic. And when I think about your role, Leo, and after watching the film and seeing what that would take, I want to know what made you want to play Ernest and with all the complexities that would require.
Well, I think the key word there is there was just more complexity in the dynamic of this relationship. And the original screenplay was really a footnote of what was a massive investigation into what actually happened during the Osage Reign of Terror. And I spoke to Marty, and Marty has said, many times, I don't really care about story. I don't really care about telling a story correctly or different beats that give intensity to the audience. I care about character. I care about the humanity, this sort of investigation of the human condition. And with this love story, we had one of the most twisted depictions of love I've ever witnessed. And we realized, look, not only are we getting into the heart of the Osage community and household and Molly's story more by creating an Ernest Molly dynamic, we're going to be able to tell a love story about the corruption of the American dream. We're going to be able to do something much more unique than a whodunit, and ultimately talk about something about humanity. And that's what his goal was. And I'm really happy we made that shift, because I think it got more to the heart of the truth of what the Osage felt this story should be about.
And sorry, Tyrone, would you mind giving us another slate, just a tail slate, please?
Sure. Tyrone Edwards from CTV, or Beau Diablo. That's French for handsome devil. You got Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, who are longtime collaborators with Martin Scorsese. This is your second film now. So how does it feel to be in the Rolodex? And are you a part of the crew? What kind of subscription did you get with Martin Scorsese?
I don't know. I mean, I was definitely thrilled to hear that he wanted to work with me again. I was like, okay, I didn't mess it up too bad that first.
Nah, come on.
But yeah, I mean, aside from getting to work with those guys, I mean, it was sort of the pinnacle on every front, because it was these masters alongside Lily Gladstone, who one of the most heart-wrenching, beautiful performances I've seen in a while. That mixed with this story that was in desperate need of being unearthed and told, and so it was really special on every front.
I want to ask you, because when I watched the film, I really didn't know too much about the Osage story and the complexity of it and how tragic it was. So how does it feel to, to be using your craft, your skills to be able to tell this story and be the good guy for the first time? Because you're usually the bad guy.
Not the first time, but it's been a while. It was an honor in every way. The book I read a year and a half or so before we started shooting, and like most people who read that story for the first time was absolutely floored at the fact that this important of a story had been buried for such a long time. Then to be a part of the telling of this story with these people involved, with the collaboration from the Osage community, shooting in Oklahoma, working alongside of all of them, being welcomed into the community in such a beautiful way. It was something I'll cherish forever. It was an amazing opportunity.
It almost sounds like you described like an amazing experience learning as well, right?
I would say what the most exciting part of it always is for me is, I don't get as much enjoyment out of watching it as I do making it. Being on a film like this with Marty, who no matter what the subject is, approaches it in the same way and pursuing, the truth and finding that core of the story. Then just being welcomed into this community and hearing the story firsthand and, being invited to their ceremonies. It was something, yeah, I wish more people could experience.
I wanted to start off quickly to say congratulations to the three of you, because not only is it a good film, but it's also very meaningful and powerful. Kara, I think that so many have been blind to the Osage murders, and admittedly, including myself. How does it feel to be a part of giving these stories this type of platform?
It's absolutely amazing. Like, for so long, like, we've been, I guess, put on the back burner, and our stories have always been told by people who want us to serve their story, not their story to actually serve, the reality, the truth of it. So that's what I absolutely love about Marty, is he was so ingrained and in depth in everything had to be like Osage. He had to make sure that it was accurate, especially for the time and for the era and for the Osage himself. So I think that having this on this kind of level is absolutely amazing, and it's only going to give more of us opportunities to tell our stories.
I think the more I've learned about that, I'll always reserve okay, well, hold on now. I want to make sure that it's actually authentic to my indigenous folks, because we gotta at least do that part, do our due diligence. So I'm glad that you start off by saying that. Jillian, let's talk about the Kyle sisters, because obviously they're such a central part of this story and a tragic part of this story. Did you guys, create your own familial bond, the three of you and Lily, working on this film together?
I feel like the giggle says it all. We'd all met basically through a Zoom audition, and then subsequently found out that we were all cast, and we are all so stoked. Mm-hmm. But there was an utmost importance that I think each one of us brought to the table to represent the people that we are portraying. And in that, I think we found love and a bond between all of us, and just a trust that was formed, as well as an ability to accurate storytelling with Marty at the helm.
Janae, do you agree? Did you enjoy working with them?
Oh, completely.
She's all no.
Completely. We were always getting in trouble for our laughing, our camaraderie, because we really built that early. Some things were very difficult issue-wise to tackle in our scenes. We were there for each other and had each other's backs to get each other through it. And being natives, we do it with humor.
Right.
I think it's super important that you said that, because I think a lot of people might detach that, look, you still have to feel what you're putting on camera and the stories that you're telling on camera. And that can be a lot. You guys are human. Anybody can jump at this question. It's my last question before I leave you. Talking about Lily, literally, she's blown away everyone that's seen this film so far. Did you know how good of a performance it was and how powerful it would be in the moment?
Yes. Yes, definitely. You can feel it when you're doing a scene with her. She's so present and just so invested. You don't see Lily anymore, you see Molly.
Like the video? Then hit the button, or better yet, drop us a comment. Then check out our latest videos here. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button here for more celebrity interviews and entertainment news.